Hey guys, my name is Davita Joanne, and I am in this crazy process right now, and I just wanted to kind of share what it is that I've been going through and maybe hopefully give a little encouragement to people because while yes, I know we're in crazy times, there's so much happening right now in the world, in our own personal lives, which yes is affected by what's going on in the world, but in our personal lives, in our homes, there's a lot going on. Let's try that. This is me. I'm trying to calm down because the workers next door just woke the baby up. They all just laid down. I'm frustrated. How exciting. You hear that? Yeah. And, I am in a place, I just turned 30 a few months ago. And I have a great support system, and I think that the only way that somebody can know if they have a great support system is if their perspective is set on the right things. If you're set on, positive and encouraging things, you're constantly filling yourself with positivity. If you don't, you're going to think that you're by yourself. We are in charge of what goes in our minds and what doesn't. You have to decide, just like everybody else, that I'm going to be positive. You're going to be positive. This is something I literally tell myself. I just had a baby 9 months ago, almost 10. So, the battle of trying to make sure that I wasn't going through PPD, that was a real thing. So I'm not far off from feeling low or feeling down. Those feelings come, but it's about how you attack, the game plan of moving forward, pushing past those moments and those emotions. One thing that I always think about is feelings are fleeting. They in 1 minute, they out the other. They up and then they're down, and then they're over there, and then they're over there. And I don't want to operate my life like that. I have 3 kids. I don't have time to operate my life like that because my kids need me to be on point. And, after that there should be a period because my kids need me to be on point. So, not saying that there's no room for me to have weakness, but I give place to that when I need to and when I can. And I intentionally take a moment each day to think through something. I think we struggle because we don't take the time to just stop and think a whole thought through. It's kind of thoughts are just always going through our heads, and then we end up feeling anxious. I'm just saying intentionality. That's what I've been working on, and intentionally being good to myself so that I can be good to everyone else. So, like I said, I'm going through some things right now. All good things, everything can be considered a good thing as long as you consider it a lesson, right? So anyways, the word that I kept hearing was steadfast, right? So I looked up, the definition, and let me just look it up again, just so I can actually say this correctly. So steadfast in the dictionary, it's an adjective, and it means to resolutely or dutifully firm and unwavering. Unwavering. What sticks out for me is the last part of this, firm and unwavering. From a teenager, I was only consistent when it came to singing or being there for people. Into my young 20s, like, my mentality was, as long as you love everybody, as long as you are there for everybody, and as long as, I'm at rehearsal and I'm doing what I got to do and I'm intentionally giving my all, like, I thought that was enough. That system of thinking led me to becoming a hardcore people pleaser. To the point where it was so detrimental. It's so good to love others unconditionally, 100%, without restraint, genuinely trying to be who it is that God has called you to be. Listen, I'm 100% down for that. Excuse any noise if you hear it. Like I said, I have 3 kids. But, with that being said, I have learned now, I am learning the definitions. I told you I'm doing a video, so you're going to have to wait. Just because I say I'm doing a video and you have to wait does not mean that you ask while you're walking away. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh, it was unhealthy, basically. I'm just learning it now. That I have to set boundaries, solid boundaries. People will walk all over you. And it's not their fault that they walked all over you. It was my fault. Not you. Me. I'm talking to myself here. It wasn't their fault. It was my fault because I allowed it. I did not deem myself worthy enough to say, hey, no, I can't, and actually stick to it. Sometimes I said, hey, no, I can't, but I didn't stick to anything, and that was the problem. Unwavering, firm. I don't want to be somebody who just lets everything just get piled on them 24/7. You know what I mean? I've been talking to a few people, not a few people, a few is 3 or more. So technically I've only talked to 2 or 3 people, but they are all filled with wisdom and I appreciate them so much. But I just wanted to talk about 1 Corinthians 15:58. It says, so now I have to go back because let me do this again. And I don't mind being on the computer doing this and being on the video because, this is called Bible study. So this is, for me anyway, I'm just kind of like giving you guys an insight into how I see things. So, this stuck out to me when I looked this up. It said, so my dear brothers and sisters, be strong and immovable. Always work. That's my husband shushing my daughter because she knows she's supposed to be quiet and she's not being quiet. But she is eating her snacks. So I don't know why she's not content. We can talk about that a different day. Contentment. Let's read that again. 58. So my dear brothers and sisters, be strong and immovable. Always work enthusiastically for the Lord, for you know that nothing you do for the Lord is ever useless. I love that. I love that so much because you can get lost in the sauce, like constantly doing things, trying to, do school. That's my husband. My husband's always like, he's on his computer doing everything. And he is a really good example of somebody not allowing himself to get lost in the sauce completely. He keeps pushing. you know, like he's about to finish his bachelor's now. But for me,
but you still my queen, girl. I love you.
I love you too. But me, I have not, well, no, I consistently went to cosmetology school and I finished, and I am going to utilize those skills. But when you don't deem yourself worthy and feel like you are good enough, you don't do anything. You end up getting stuck, and then you're angry with the world. Don't be angry with the world, y'all. Like, saddle up and let's go. She's excited. She saw her daddy. For me, I am actively trying to join the U.S. Navy. I have gone to MEPS. I have lost maybe 14 pounds now. I've gone down about 5-6 inches. I'm doing all the things that I need to do. And then I got a hiccup. And this hiccup, when I went to MEPS, they were like, you passed your medical, but you have to come back for this eye consult. And I'm like, what? Everything else, I literally cried in the MEPS station because I passed the weight. Okay? And now I'm sitting here and it's been 30 days come Monday. And then the other hiccup along from that, or connected to that, because I had to get over that. Don't come over here. I'm recording a video. But I love you. Go get a snack. The other thing next to that is they pushed me off 2 more days. I just found that out today. I was so upset because here's the thing. I have other things that I want to do. This was just supposed to be a little piece, okay? I'm doing the reserves because ultimately my husband is like about to put on chief soon once he tests, speaking that into existence because I already know what's going to happen. But my husband's about to put on chief. I'm coming in. It was always my dream to join. Yes, I love it. Oh my gosh, one day I'll talk about that. But you know, I've done this process. I'm thinking I would have been back by now. My kids have to do the little prep week homeschool. I have to put them in school to go because the goal was I was going to go in, come back, homeschool them or whatever, you know, and I was going to start esthetician school. After that, when I came back, do that in the evenings because I started it. And then a weekend of starting it, I found out that I was pregnant with little boo-boo, right? So I'm like, okay, I have goals. I have goals and I want to reach these goals. And I was supposed to start the other goals by now, but I have not been able to do that because I'm sitting here waiting for this process to kick off. Okay. So anyways, with that has been so frustrating. And clearly I had to vent that because I was not going to say all that, but that's where I am right now. There are just so many things that I want to do. And my husband is always so encouraging. I'm not doing anything right now. I'm stuck. And in the midst of being stuck, I have to be able to remain steadfast. And the only way that I can do that is if I stay in my word, if I stay prayerful, if I stay connected. And so, you know, this whole chapter is about the death and the resurrection of Christ, maintaining the mindset that, you know, we are all renewed in him. You know, remember that he died on the cross for everything. That includes even if I get angry and I want to text my recruiter asking her what the ham sandwich is going on because I should not be still sitting here right now, but yet I am. That's how I feel right now. But instead, I asked her a different question. I remained joyful and kind, loving to my kids and my husband, not being all funky, you know, and that's the point. Remaining steadfast and not saying I'm remaining steadfast, but still having some stanky attitude. You know what I mean? Like, the only way that you know you're doing what it is that God has called you to do is if you are continually praying and having peace and joy. Like, you can't have that and not be, like, completely engulfed in what it is you have going on with Jesus, right? Like, my heart still remains at the core. Lord, I don't want to do anything if this isn't your will. How will I know if it's his will? The only way I will know it's his will is if I pray, stop talking so much and letting him, like, touch my heart. I have to do that. And I am genuinely, actively, intentionally trying to do that on a daily basis. It is not easy, and I think just for me, I don't want to get low. Like, there's so many things, and that's what you have to think about. There's so many things that can cater to negativity. If I allow it, I can be so frustrated with the fact that I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that, and I'm 30 and I'm down here in Tampa, Florida, and I'm not, singing anymore, and I'm not doing ministry anymore, and I'm not doing, but you know what? That's not true. If I really, like, kind of rearrange things in my head, I'm doing all the ministry that I need to, because I am literally loving on my family as good and as hard as I can. I'm trying to build them up and encourage them and teach, the kids, and Dwayne's doing the exact same thing, and we're trying to maintain our relationship and having intentional, active conversations and building conversations that are building on what we have going on. Sometimes the conversations are not fun. Sometimes they're not easy, but we have them. And, that's what we want. We want our foundation to remain solid, and we want to build on that. We want to leave a very good legacy for our children and our children's children. And so that is that's where we are, and I encourage you, whoever it is that watches this, even if this is just for me, Davida, literally, like, look at yourself. I encourage you to do a mental check. Are you actually doing what it is that you are supposed to be doing in life? Or is this all just for your own personal gain? Because it shouldn't be that hard to remain steadfast on a regular basis if my mind is focused on him. Am I even supposed to be going in the military? Was this just a dream that I had, that necessarily didn't have to come into fruition? Like, did I make this happen? Could I actually just do all the things that I really want to do right now in life? Like, things change. Life goals change. That's, like, literally the question, though, I have. Because then I have to think about it. If I do reserves, then I come back. Say I do reserve at FTS, I'm working full time, right? That means that the baby has to go somewhere else, because of course I have the bestest of the bestest parents, so they're coming down here while I'm in boot camp and in A school. So let me pick up from where I was. Sorry if you hear everything. Ooh, look at my little tag hanging out on my pillow. I'm trying to have it sitting decent. But anyways, it is hot mess in here right now. But anyways, what I was saying was that if I go in the reserves, I have to come back. I ultimately was going to watch, like, take care of the kids, do homes. Well, guys, as you see, I am now in a different position because I had to restart my video a couple of times. I had some technical difficulties, but I ultimately was just trying to say that in order for me to take a mind check and just kind of figure out what exactly it is that I'm supposed to be doing in life, I'm gonna have to just, like, really take some time out and do that. Not saying that I'm not supposed to join the military or anything, but just the timing of everything. I'm still going to push forward and go to the appointment and all that stuff. But, you know, you can't blame somebody for wanting to just kind of sit back and think, you know, hey, is this what should really be happening, you know? Yeah, so I guess we'll find out what is next. Definitely next week. But I might do another video just to kind of chat and talk about some more things that I've been working through. I am going to head to the gym very soon now that everything's quiet. I did think about picking up the piano again. I actually have it set up upstairs in my room because I was gonna start practicing again. I had learned a long time ago and then I just like put it away. So yeah, we'll see. All right, talk to y'all soon.